Hello, and what a great day to sew something wonderful. I'm Kia with Kia B, and I'm so excited to be back with you today. We are talking all things Blackbird from my collection. I don't have a huge Blackbird stash. I definitely don't have anything like rare or, hard to find. I do think I have maybe one or two out of print things, but I've got a stack of charts, I have a stack of whips, and then I have a couple of kit up things that I have just hoarded for one day to start. So I thought we would kind of lay it all out there. If this is your first video like this that you're joining me, I did a Prairie Schooler one about a month ago, and just kind of went through all my Prairie Schooler charts and what those look like. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. It wasn't a month. A month seems like a long time ago. And so what I'm doing, instead of like one giant whip parade, I'm kind of just taking you through my collection, a designer or two at a time. As I was kind of pulling out all my Blackbird charts, say that 10 times fast. As I was pulling all of them out earlier today, I thought, man, like I have some really good, charts in my collection, but I might only have one or two from that designer. And so we might do like a compilation video of like, here's a bunch of designers I only have one or two charts from. And so we'll just kind of see how it goes. I'm excited to go through these. It's made me just really like evaluate my collection and my charts. I pulled out some today of like, oh, I don't want to forget that I want to start this. Or I pulled out today Christmas at Hollyberry Farm because I really want to start that. But I kind of want to do it with, I don't know, I kind of like want to do a Christmas at Hollyberry Farm sale. I don't even know if that exists. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. This video is about Blackbird. So I do have quite a few whips that we'll go through. I say quite a few. It's less than 10, so I guess that's really not quite a few. But anyway, just to kind of go through it. Yes, if this is your first time joining me, instead of doing a overall whip parade at the end of the year, I'm kind of breaking it down, showing you my collection and my whips. And then, so that's happening. I really hesitate to say on a schedule. What I've been doing is every other week I'm doing this sort of video, and then the following week I'll do a normal floss tube video. So it's kind of like every week okay, I can definitively say this. Every week you have been seeing a video from me. That is the goal going forward. And we'll just see how long we get to stay on track. So with that being said, let's talk Blackbird. I started my collection a few years ago, really when my taste started to shift after floss tube. I really started diving into just a different kind of aesthetic of stitching. And I talked about this in my last floss tube, where I can kind of feel that shift starting to happen now as I've began to really deep dive into reproductions and things like that. So I kind of have like an eclectic collection, but we'll get through it nonetheless. Let me just start with showing you whips of my Blackbird collection. I will tell you, nothing is ironed, nothing is like thought of ahead of time. It's just, hey, let's do Blackbird this time. So with that being said, I apologize in advance for wrinkles and mess, I guess. But anyway, I will say this is just another little plug for this digital whip planner that I talked about in my last video. It made it really easy for me to go to my whip library and pull out. So for those of you who did not see my, let me turn the brightness down of this again. I noticed that. For those of you who did not see my floss tube, in the last video, I talked about a whip library that I started back in the early spring, and it's made it so easy for me to find my projects. And it took me about a week to categorize everything, not only like in my physical library, but in a digital library as well. I would like to find a physical version of this because I am a paper person, But for now, this is really making it easy. So all I did is I have my whips separated into 7 different categories. I have my charts separated in those same categories. And then it corresponds with my whip planner. And so this just happens to be the friendship planner. So that's one of my categories is friendship, because I just have a lot of like sales I'm doing with friends, those sort of things that I want to eventually have a friendship wall in my house that is nothing but cross stitches of just friendship quotes and things like that. Friendship has just always been, like as a teenager, I remember taking friendship extremely seriously. And I talked last time about being clingy friends. There is not much more that I take seriously. There's not much that I take more seriously than the relationships in my life. And so having a friendship wall in my house just seems very fitting for me. And so this is all of my whips currently that I have that have to do with that friendship or friendship wall. So what I was able to do then, this might be backwards for you, but then I was able to just look at the index of each of my planners and go down and say, okay, here's the one that's Blackbird. Then I could go to my whip pile and pull that out. So if you want more information about this planner, I talked about it in my last floss tube that was uploaded last week. This planner is from Jen Lee Quirks and Stitches. I put the link in the last video. Head over there and grab it. It is wonderful. So it made it very easy for me to find all my Blackbird whips today because I could just easily find the index. Okay, this first one is my friend's house. Speaking of Jen Lee, back in 2020 for my birthday, Tech Guy surprised me and had several friends come out and celebrate my birthday. It was a wonderful week. They were here Wednesday through Sunday, and a couple of those people were Jen and Brandon Lee, and Jen Lee of Quirks and Stitches. And she was working on this while she was here, and I fell in love with it. I thought, oh my goodness, I have got to stitch this. So I searched for it for a while and then finally bought it. It says the ornament of a house is the friends who frequent it. And I just love it so much. This was a 12 by 12 start that year in 2020. And this is all I've gotten so far. So I am doing this on 40 count, Purely Primitive by Silk Weaver. Okay, funny story about Purely Primitive. I bought Purely Primitive from Silk Weaver for the Brenda Gervais, the Brenda Gervais, like the big piece that everybody did together, and it's framed downstairs in my wall. And it didn't come, and it didn't come, and it didn't come, and it didn't come. And finally, it came, but it was well after we had all started that piece. So, so I just kept it for something else, and that's what I used it as. Okay, so my next one is Humming of the Bees. Now, this was just released not that long ago. I know there are several people who are working on it currently and have finished it already. So this is Humming of the Bees. I am a house stitcher. I have always loved houses, and this is just beautiful. I mean, are you kidding? It's just beautiful. The berry bowls, the beehive, like there's not much about this chart I don't enjoy. And just, this was started this year for 12 by 12. I write everything on a library card. This was a wonderful gift from my friend Tammy. I had taken a stack of charts to keepsake so that I could kit them for 12 by 12 last year. And when I got there, there was an envelope on the table for me, and she was just so incredibly sweet to send me like a little note at keepsakes that said, treat yourself. And I just, gosh, to be able to do that for someone is a dream. And then to be on the receiving end of it is, I can't even tell you the gratitude that is there for that. It's just phenomenal. Okay, so this is Humming of the Bees. This was a 12 by 12 start. here's where I'm at on that. I think I took this to Stitch Away and worked on it a little bit this year. This is 46 count Under the Sea, and this is called Properly Primitive. So it's it definitely pulls like a little bit of that green blue neutral, but I really, really enjoy it. Just a fun piece to work on. That border, I feel like I've got to get a border done first, and then I don't know, I think, and I've heard several people talk about this, I will tackle a chart. I always start in the same place of a chart, always that bottom left corner. Just because of the way I stitch, it makes sense to me. Liz Matthews taught me that a few years ago, and I've literally since that Zoom that she and I did, I've never started another piece the way I was. So I have started every single piece from that moment that way. And in a piece, I will evaluate a piece of like what I'm gonna least enjoy, and I need to stitch that first, or else I have a hard time finishing it. So I tackle models that way. The things that, when I look at a model that someone's asked me to stitch, the things that I see that will be the most cumbersome, I like to knock out first, because otherwise I will not enjoy it. So I feel very like I'm really drudging through the work of it, and I don't want to do that. So I try to knock out borders and things first, because especially if it's a repetitive, I know I'll want to do that. Okay, this is Sewing Club. I bought this at Market in 2020. This is 16 projects. I saw these in person, absolutely stunning. So I am working on this one. This is called Willing Hands, and it says she works with willing hands and delight, again with the house. I will be very honest and say, when I started this, I have not touched it again. In fact, I think I don't love this fabric anymore. And do I even have any stitches in on this? I don't. So this isn't even a WIP, it's a kitted up project. It's because I don't like the fabric. I chose a 45 count legacy linen, and this is called Jersey White or Jersey Cream. And I just don't love the color of it, I think. I don't know, I go back and forth. So that's what this is going to be. This is a kit up project. I thought it was a WIP. It is not. So I'm gonna actually shift that. I don't keep the book. I just have this in a project bag that I made. I don't keep the book with it because I don't want something to happen to the book. And sometimes I'm not very careful with my project bags. So I'm gonna lay that to the side, because while I thought that was a WIP, it is not. Okay. The next one is Moonlit Garden. This one is beautiful. This was also a 12 by 12 start a year ago, so a year and a half ago. So this would be in 21. This is it. To everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under heaven. Look how beautiful that is. Oh, but again, like, just stunning colors. That is not a border, that is part of the frame. Beautiful. I mean, this is just stunning. So I'm stitching this on 46 count Be Stitch Me. This is called Sand Dollar. I quite literally have one word done, and it is the word heaven. Don't even think you can see it. There we go, the word heaven. I think I did stop on this piece because I thought, I wonder if you're gonna really be able to see that as I stitch the quote at the bottom. So I need to reevaluate this to see if I'm gonna like that or if I need to switch up that color. It looks like I switched up quite a few colors, so I may just need to switch that color up, we'll see. Okay. The next WIP I have is called A Wish for You. This is the one that I just think is so sweet. Let me find my project card that's missing from in here. Okay, so this is A Wish for You. Let me find it. Friend's house, just a second here. sometimes I don't know my own. Okay, so this was a 12 by 12 start this past year. Sometimes I don't know my own categorizing. I put this in spring because there's a bunny there. You just watched that whole thought process. I like went back and thought, okay, this is because there's a bunny in it. I put it in spring. So this is a wish for you. Remember last year for 12 by 12, that was like my bunny year for whatever reason. I have 25 stitches in. That's it. This fabric is gorgeous though. I love this. It is a deep neutral and I really enjoyed it. It's a color and cotton, so it's 40 count in Tuscan, and I think it's beautiful. Okay, so that's a wish for you. And then I just have one more Blackbird whip that I'll share with you. This is my giant Christmas ornament bag. So there's lots and lots of ornaments in here. And I pulled out the Home for the Holidays with all of these stockings here. I guess there's not one in that picture. All of these stockings here. And so I've got those started. I have all the fabric for them cut already. I think I just showed this to you when I talked about my Christmas stockings. I have 2 snowflakes done and that's it. So I need to get working on those. But I have all the fabric cut for those. Ready to go for when I stitch more. Isn't that what we always say? This book is just beautiful. Not only do I love those stockings, I just love so many pieces in this. Look at that stunning cardinal. This book is just gorgeous. This one is called Home for the Holidays. Look at that. Such a sweet little pillow. I mean, stunning. I am trying to, okay, so 'Tis the Season is what this, I don't want to bend this book. 'Tis the Season. I do believe that Niecy Lynn has finished this or part of it. So check her Instagram or I know she talked about it on her floss tube. It's just stunning. I mean, it is just absolutely stunning. I love also about Blackbird books, they give you instructions for finishing as well, as far as like, here's a painted box tutorial. Absolutely beautiful. Which I am actually getting ready to, I'm going to talk about this maybe in my next floss tube, but I found some they're not old. They came from the Dollar General. They were $1. But they look like books, but they're boxes. Dollar Tree has them for the Christmas season normally too. I haven't seen them this year, but we found them at Dollar General this year for $1. And I thought, oh my gosh, wouldn't these make cute little stitching notion boxes? So I'm thinking about that for a table mate gift. But here's one of the stockings. I just picked a bunch of reds and pinks that I enjoy. And I am not following as like their suggested color way. I'm just kind of picking a color. Niecy Lynn on her last floss tube talked about how she quite literally will just forget to change. If some of the Blackbird charts, especially like my friend's house, every letter is a different color. And so she says she can't do that. So she changed to where like every row is a different color. So, which is not a bad idea. Oh, blessings be thine. Look at this. Look at that frame it's in too. I mean, it's just stunning. What is this color right here? I want to see, I'm going to read it to you, but that color, that variegation. Let me see what this is. This is going to be a heart, and that is gassed. It is cranberry. Gosh, that is beautiful. That variation is quite beautiful. Okay. And then this Christmas garden. There are so many things that you could pull out of that. If you were in like a Christmas smalls exchange, there are so many things that you could pull out of that and make cute little pillows. Stunning. You gotta think outside the box when you get these books of like, how can I best utilize them? Okay, so that is the Home for the Holidays Blackbird book. I didn't go through Sewing Club. I guess I should have, huh? Did not go through it. Okay. All right, so let's move on to some kit up projects that I have for Blackbird. First is Quaker Garden. I don't have fabric yet. This was also a gift from my friend Tammy, but I have all the flosses. So this is Quaker Garden by Blackbird. Oh, it's so pretty. I love the muted colors of this. Just think it's gorgeous. I need to think of some better adjectives, I think, because I think I'm just repeating. Sorry if that annoys you. Okay, I kit this up mostly. I don't have all of the threads. I had gone to Always in Stitches to pick them up and just decided I wasn't going to. I wanted to start this with all of my friends. Not all of them started it, but a good majority of them started this. It's Feast of Friendship. If you have not seen a cross floss tube people stitching this, the variations that we're having in the houses are just stunning. The detail of this when you see it on a piece of cloth is phenomenal. And I really did want to start this with them. That giant house I just can't tell you how much I love houses. The whole reason I love the houses of Hawker and Hollow. Okay. But I went to kit it up and it was after the boy's surgery and stuff like that. And we were still drowning a little bit. And I just thought, this doesn't sound fun to me. It seems like I didn't create, it wasn't that I backed out of something. It wasn't going to be a fun start for me. It felt very like assignment. And I didn't want to do that to myself. I don't want to start Sal's that way. And so I just bowed out gracefully and decided I'll just kit this up. And when I'm ready for it, I'll have it. So I have the majority of the colors. I have some that I've got to get to Always in Stitches. But I pulled fabric. This is Color and Cotton. It's a 40 count. Papyrus, I believe is the name of this. It's very, very pretty. Here's some of the colors of this. We made these, are they cabochons at Holly's house this summer when we were all there. Not all, when some of us were there. And the colors of this are just stunning, honestly. I just knew that it was gonna not be, it felt like a task more than fun. And so while I did have FOMO like really badly of, I wanna be stitching that with them. It wasn't the right time for me to do that. And I need to pay attention to those thoughts and feelings. So, okay. So those are the only two things I have kitted. Well, I apparently have Willing Hands kitted and not started. So I'm going to put that in a kit up pile. Okay, let's go through my stack. I don't have a very big stack, but I'll go through them. Okay, first is Anniversaries of the Heart. I would love to collect these. This is pattern number 9, Moonlight Visitor. Again with the house. Gorgeous. I ordered this on, I think Etsy, I believe. Design, the entire design. So the entire Anniversaries of the Heart. Let me see if I can show you this without showing you any pattern. Okay, do you see, there we go. Okay, do you see how it's different months? That's the layout. That entire layout is 387 by 61. This specific one is 75 by 85. So not very large, but I would like to collect the Anniversaries of the Heart. I think they're gorgeous. Okay. This is Garden of Life. This is the loose leaves, pattern number 21. This says, friends, the flowers in the Garden of Life. Beautiful. I don't know, it's just very different. I thought these were pumpkins at first, and they're not. They're flowers, but it did look like that. There's that Blackbird star, beautiful. This reminded me of the sal that I did with Stephanie. It was our first BFF sal that we did. That was it broken fences or mending fences or something like that, where it says I can't remember, but anyway, that's what this reminded me of. And I thought, oh, this would be perfect, like sitting next to it. So I might pull the colors from that one, and try to incorporate into this so that they look nice sitting together. Okay, then I have Strawberry Fields Forever. I think this is gorgeous. Look at that berry bowl. Look at that border though. The gate is gorgeous. Love that. Merrily, merrily, we welcome spring. I love the over distressed fabric in this. And I look at this and think, oh, I could tackle this. I could divide this out really easily. Like having, okay, you need to complete this motif, like one motif every day or one every 3, whatever. Beautiful. Again, I would start with the border on that so that I make sure they're done. This is another Anniversaries of the Heart. This one is Happy Birthday. I have bought this several times for birthday presents for friends. I think it's great. It just says, happy birthday, dear friend. But it's beautiful. There are a couple of specialty stitches in that. Are they? They're just lazy daisy stitches. So they're not super bad. Okay. I'm trying to get all the books together and we'll just go through all the books in a minute. Okay. Away We Ride. Again, not a Halloween stitcher, but this just looked really pretty to me. I thought this was beautiful. So pretty. Another Anniversaries of the Heart. This is number 10. This is the pumpkin patch. How cute of a small would that be? Like the detail on that inner frame. This is a loose leaves, a loose feathers. This is number 6, Pleasure of the Fleeting Year. For the Birds is what this is called, For the Birds. Look at that berry bowl. Oh, the detail in that. Do you hear the cat snoring? I'm so sorry. Gosh, it's so pretty. I bet that is one that's like even more gorgeous when you see it in person. This one was 2017. And it was taken from a line of sonnet number 97 by William Shakespeare. It struck me as just the right title as I thought of this past year. It brings much warmth to my heart as I await the coming spring. Beautiful. Here's my thought. If there are sentiments like that in a pattern and you're doing this as a smalls exchange, write those sentiments in a card. And just say like excerpt taken from pattern or whatever. So that way the person knows like the sentiment of the original designer. I think that's a great idea. Okay, Evergreen Lane. This is pattern number 11 from Anniversaries of the Heart. So pretty. Look at that house. For the love, that house is just gorgeous. It says, wedding bells are ringing in November of 1946 for Barb's mom and dad. The war was over and peace had become a reality. It was time for young couples to establish a home and begin a family. The Anniversaries of the Heart series is the place to remember those cherished family members who are dear to you. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. Eventually, we'll collect them all. All right, this is Frosty's Night Out. I saw Colleen Rebel Stitcher stitching this, and I wanted to be one of the cool kids. I just thought he's so cute in the top of a bowl or a box or a drum or something. Gorgeous. And he's not one you would have to put away at Christmas, like when Christmas is over. All right, All Joys for Thine. And this is the sampler that was the inspiration for this piece. Fantastic. I did a class last week and Pat Ryan, R&R, was there, and Pat Ryan talked about the difference between an inspiration piece and a reproduction. It was fascinating. So sorry, we live near a tiny airport, and so it's a gorgeous day outside, so people are out flying. All right, this is our lasting friendship. This is 3 projects in a book. I'm sure you guys have all seen several groups of friends are doing our lasting friendship or have done it. Here is the biggest sampler. Here is the Shepherd's Bush pin cushion. So pretty. Okay. And then, here is, it says, My Heart to Hold a Memory Box. How pretty is that? And then you have the big sampler. This. Isn't that gorgeous? It says, I have added 5 friends' initials to the sampler. You can add more by including initials in the empty spaces on the sampler. Need to remove a cartouche, take one out, and repeat one of the birds in that open space. So that's nice that she's like giving you alternatives as to where you could put more initials if you needed to, which is great. In this community, I feel like you cannot have too many friends, so it's fantastic. Okay, this one, sorry for the wrestling. Okay, this one is Sweet Land of Liberty. This was just released. I bought this at Always in Stitches. It is not that old. Let me see what the copyright was. I can't remember if it was this year or last year. This is 2016. I really thought it was newer than that. Okay, well, maybe not. Okay, but we'll go through this nonetheless. Okay, so this is Sweet Land of Liberty. I did buy this at Always in Stitches. Here is the bowl topper. Look at that house. Are you joking me? Gorgeous. Oh, look at the trim. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Okay, let me see if there's a different picture of this one to where I don't have, there we go. I do not want to bend the book. If you're going to a summer retreat and doing a smalls exchange, I tend to do really large smalls exchanges, I have been told. I did not realize I do, but apparently I do. Look at that. I like the old buttons right here in the finishing. That's really pretty. Is that one? Salute to Abigail. The color changes in this are insane, but there's actually only 4 colors in this whole piece. Man, oh man. Okay, and this is Liberty Rose. There are only 3 colors in this. And that simple black frame. It's gorgeous. Okay, and then here's all of them together. This is just a close-up, but beautiful. Okay, A Heart Remembers. Now this I say this was just released. Let me actually check my words. Yeah, 2022. Heart Remembers. This one is an emotional one. And I'm sure there are lovely sentiments. inside. I mean, it's just, yeah. So this one, and then it's got a note up there from Alma. This one is actually a Heart Remembers. Beautiful. I have not seen anyone stitch that, I don't think. I could be extremely wrong. Here are more pattern notes on that. This one is beautiful. It says, our Loose Feathers program of 2008 included a series of bonus patterns. Since we loved quilted projects, we thought to combine our love of pieced work with cross stitch. Our idea was to replicate the idea of piecing by using a different piece of linen for each panel. Several designers have done this. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful idea to do it. After each panel was completed, we then sewed them together to form a whole sampler. Look at this. Look at that. This is just the pattern note. The detail she gives you in the design choices, I appreciate. I really do. So the next several pages are those individual pieces, and it shows you like close. So here's a close up of that piece. Okay, then make sure I've got all those. Okay, this one is Where My Heart Blooms. Love that chunky frame. Love the distressed, like beat up look. Gorgeous. Basket of Memories. Look at the lace. Gorgeous. I want to make sure. Okay, this one is My Dear Friend. It says, to my dear friend. This is a beautiful pillow. Beautiful. Gosh, what count is this on? This is on 36 count parchment by Fiber on a Whim. And it's 1/2. So it's got that, here's a larger picture. It's definitely got the more like primitive stitching look. Man, that's stunning. I just think it's fun to just sit and thumb through books. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Okay. This one is Anniversary Happiness to You, Dear Friends. 1973 to 2023. And then, of course, there's templates and things. Heart of the Home. Another heart-shaped pillow. Forget Me Not in Remembrance. And then lastly, we have Wildflower Guide. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, and then my last piece, my last book, this is from Barb and Alma. This was in 2002. This was gifted to me. This is called A Fine Collection. And this is one of the pieces in there. Isn't that gorgeous? I'll tell you what that thread is in a second. What this is a calendar interspersed with patterns. My goodness. So for instance, it says, begin the year stitching with us. Barb and I thought it would be fun to do a book with one stitchery project for each month. Along with each graph, we felt it important to include a journal for you to record your days. So gosh, how cute is that? So I was going to make copies and use this as a book of days sort of thing, because the little hand-drawn snowman, are you joking? But like they have one for every single month. And I thought, gosh, how cute would that be? Here's February. Hand and heart shall never part. So I just thought this was so stinking cute. But there is a pattern for every single month. So let me flip to the middle. There's charts, but then in the middle there are pages of the finishes. So that sweet little bunny, so cute. This is just a small little sampler, monochromatic. That included some buttons. There's those Blackbird stars. This is November and August melon. So there's November and then August. I just saw somebody stitching this and I cannot for the life of me remember who it was. Okay, then, oh my word with the squirrel. Okay, I'm sorry. Here's February. I don't think I showed you February. Okay, look at this squirrel and the acorns. Okay, then here is what's on the front of the book. So cute. Friendship Gathering is what that one is called. Okay, and then that pumpkin that I showed you on the back. And then it may have been Niecy Lynn. I don't know, maybe not. But here is the patriotic one for this book. So there are 12 designs in this book, and it is intended to be like a book of days where you are you're tracking like what you're stitching. But the little hand draw, it's the little like hand drawn things that just are, I don't know, I just think they're so cute. This one says, this is June. It says, relax on a summer day, read a good book, or stitch a stitch. So I thought that was so cute. So again, this is a fine collection, Blackbird Designs. This was out in 2002. So very, very cute. Oh, I told you I was gonna tell you what that thread is. Let me find that design. October's Harvest, I think is what that one is called. That is I think it is a silk overdyed. I think it's a silk overdyed. And then look, they even have like soup recipes in here. Isn't that so cute? Okay, I think, where did it go? Wildflowers by Caron, and then 2 skeins of marigold number 052 are for that. Look at, I mean, the variegation in that is just stunning. And then you can see like the line of stitching. Okay, I have kept you here for far too long. It's been 40 minutes. Thank you so much for joining me as I kind of went through my collection. I just really enjoy it. I don't know. I wanted this to feel like we're just sitting together chatting about a collection. It's just such a special thing to be able to collect these things and have them in our stash. And even if I never get to stitch some of these, it's just wonderful to, I don't know, sit and stare at them and think about the designer's choices and read about why they made some of the choices they made. So I think it's gorgeous. I think it's a lot of fun to sit and do this. So hopefully you felt like we're just 2 friends sitting chatting over a collection. So thank you so much for joining me in the Hive, and I will talk with you, Lord willing, next week for another floss tube.